Okay, thank you everybody for joining. So without taking much of our time, we'll go straight to the chapter 2 for today. So the last chapter with my colleague has been able to take you through what Shiny apps actually look like. So I'm sharing the two screen. Please, can you confirm if you can see the two screens? Hello? Sorry, can you confirm if you can see the two screen? Maybe you type in the box.
Yes, we
Can
see
you see
your
my
first
browser?
Shiny app. Yes, we see the your
Uh-huh.
first Shiny app and the R Studio on the other side.
Okay, good. Thank you so much, Simi. Thank you. So I'm going to briefly just go through this, then we'll start with chapter 2. So um the chapter 1 is your first Shiny Hub, and my colleague Ridwan has done a good job in taking you through that. So what basically we have here is going through the interface between the UI and the server. So we dealt with some examples, and we also talk about the reactive values, the link between the UI and the server. So all this has been done here, but how we got all those controls in, what they stand for, what's the difference between the input and the output controls, that's what we're going to look at, because you dealt with adding controls, adding the behaviors. All these are just top level intro into what Shiny App really is. So that we also look at duplication in reactive expressions. So I'm going to go straight to the um, chapter 2. So I did a summary of the chapter to make it easier for those who have not been able to go through the chapter, to make it fast for you to understand what is there. So I break it down into a Quarto document, and you're going to have it in the repo. So if you're going to go back into the repo, so let me see if I can copy that. Let's go / Abuja. Okay, let me see. So I'll share the link to the repo with you guys. Repo. Okay. Okay. So while we're waiting for that to load up, I would um be taking us through everything for chapter 2. So we're going to look at the UI. So the intro now is basically what we have here. So now I don't want to go through so much of that. So from this chapter, I'm going to go to the Quarto document. I am going to also knit it. So and let me just bring up. Okay, all the updates there. So see. So for those who are going to want to go along with me, you can pull the GitHub repo, or you download it, then you open it up, then you can follow along with me. So the folder where it's CH02 is for chapter 2. So let me kind of collapse this render. Okay. So I think it will be easier if we go through this breakdown. Is a summarized version of the chapter 2. So I'll take you through and I'll explain every details as much as I can. So the Quarto document is also available to you in on the repo. So previously you look at how Shiny encourages separation. Okay, sorry. Let me admit the next person. So we look at how Shiny encourages, that the Shiny package encourages separation of the code that generates the user interface, that the front end, from the code that drives the app's behavior, that's the back end. So if we're looking at the front end, we are looking at the UI function that, okay, that's the UI part of Shiny app. Then when we look at the back end, we're looking at the server side of the Shiny application. So the goal of this chapter is, sorry, let me just disable the waiting room. Okay. Okay, just a minute
Yeah,
there.
that's a good idea.
Okay. Let me see. Okay. Okay. I think every other person can join without waiting in the being in the waiting room. So okay, that has been cleared now. Okay. Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you. I've not gone too far. So we started with the Shiny, how Shiny encourages separation of the code generated from the user interface, that's the UI part, and the server side, that's the back end of the Shiny application. It's just like a normal web application. So the focus for this chapter 2, is going to be the focus on the front end, that's the UI part. Then in the front end, you have the input and the output. So as you can communicate with the Shiny app by passing in values, you can also have information displayed on the UI to you through the outputs controls. So we are also going to deal with the many types of data and display types that are available in R. So you can get more about the inputs through some Shiny extension packages that have been created from some very good people out there. There is so much love and Shiny. So we have the Shiny widgets, the color picker, the sortable. You can also have access to all this list of extensions for Shiny through this link, graciously maintained by Nanshio. I hope I pronounced that name well. So you can get to this link and you'll be able to have access to all the extensions that are available to Shiny. So now let's go into the input um, controls now. So the common ones, that's the input function, we can get that by just having access to any of the Shiny names, the controls that comes with the package, irrespective of what you is going to be a text or a number, but is not inclusive of these ones that comes with the extensions. Okay. So except you have the package here, and then you have access to all these ones. So then also let me see. Okay. So don't like get this too much distracted. I'll do as much as I can here to get you to see the UI as you can interact with them. So for any UI and any input function or controls, as you might want to call it, so that it's easier, you need to have some arguments that you're going to pass in into that function that is going to create that UI controls for you. Either a slider input, a text input, you have some default arguments that you must pass to that function that are compulsory. And the order that you're going to pass in these arguments, we're going to go through the recommended order that you have to put those values in. So the first one is going to be the input ID. So you have to give it a unique name that is going to stand in as the unique identifier. Okay. So we're going to that unique identifier is going to be used to connect the front end with the back end. That's the UI to the server side. Okay. So then you want to give it a label. The label is kind of going to be something different from what your code or the server needed. So that's a human readable label for the control. So it can be maybe a text input that is going to be for your first name. So that label, that first name is going to be assigned to the label argument. So anybody that comes in contact with a Shiny application will know that, okay, there is a box here. I need to put in my first name. Okay. Or this box is going to take the number of beans that I'm going to use for my visuals and all this stuff. So all these are information that you need to provide to your input function. Okay. Then this next thing might be the value that is not, but the argument is not the same for all the input functions. It's not the same. So the value here would be the third argument. So you set the default value that you want to be displayed inside of that input function or the control. So note when creating an input, Hadley is recommending that you supply the input and the label arguments by position. Okay, you don't have to give the name of the argument. That means you don't have to put this here and you don't have to put this here. So that's what is recommending, that you can just put them in by default, but any other argument, you have to state specifically that, okay, this value is going for, and this value, somehow, this 50 is going for the value argument. Then the minimum is going to take 0. Then the maximum is going to take 100. Okay, sorry, please, if you can kindly mute yourselves, I'll mute everybody. Okay, so please, if you're coming in, kindly mute yourself so that I won't be too much distracted. Okay, so thank you so much. So, so that is basically what is recommending to us that, okay, we should do. So you don't have to give a name to that, the first two arguments, that is the input and the label arguments. So then now we want to look at the various categories of text or input controls that we have for Shiny. So that's the default ones that comes with the Shiny package. So the first one is going to be the text. So for small amount of text, you want to use this control. That's the text input. For the password, if you want to add a password to your app, for your Shiny app, use the password input control. So these are input controls. So then paragraphs, that will be a large text or maybe text that are beyond one sentence or more than multiple sentences. You will use the text area input function. So the same thing, just like we've explained, you have to pass in the arguments, and this is an example of the code that Hadley has in the book. So there is a shortcut to creating your Shiny app. So this is what I'm going to use to show you as an example here. So if you have your Shiny package installed on the instance of maybe your session, you wouldn't have any issue. So here, if I just tap and type Shiny app, there's a snippet that will help you to generate the base code for a complete Shiny application that you can see. So I will just bring this up. I can save this demo as demo. So let me put it in here. Typing in there. So demo app. So if I save this, what will make you comfortable and feel at home is this. There would be an icon here. Instead of the normal run. Okay, sorry, is there a specific app? Should is there a specific app I should install to use Shiny? No, it's just the package. If you have, okay, sorry, do you have R Studio installed on your system? R and R Studio? Because going through Visual Studio might be kind of complicated somehow. But if you have R Studio and R installed on your system, the only thing you need, okay, for this question, let me just go. Quickly, I will create any instance of my R Studio. Let me bring that up. So Don, do you have RStudio on your system? Okay. So Don, do you have RStudio? No, okay. Oh. I think RStudio is kind of a means or an IDE that will make it easier for you to be able to create a Shiny app. Although you can do that in Visual Studio as well. But the easiest way that I think you can start creating Shiny applications is to have RStudio on your system. Okay. So you might want to go through some maybe tutorials, maybe before. Simi, I don't know if you can help me out here. If you can just get a link to how he can install RStudio on his system and share it here, I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. So I think I will. Okay, let me just for record purpose, I will share my screen now to a new instance of RStudio. Okay, so if you eventually get successful to install RStudio on your system, you're good to go. All you just need is you have to learn a bit of R. I don't know if you understand R or you can write R syntax or something, but I think the next thing will be to install the package. So using this function, you will use this as just type Shiny. Okay. So with this, okay, let me get it. Okay. Okay. So, okay. Thank you, Baruz Jabbar. Thank you so much for the offer to help. So, this is basically what you need. If you have this installed, then you're good to go. I already have it on my system, so I don't want to install this anymore. So that's just what you need. So if you have this installed, then you can start a new project. So you click on project either from the file or from the right side, left or right side. So if I click on the file, I'll see new project. So it's going to bring it up here. Oh, South Africa. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. She can download, he or she can download from Play Store or in the computer. Hello? Can you hear me? Sir, can you
Yes,
hear
we
me?
can hear you.
Thank you. You can.
Yes, I can hear you. I'll download on my laptop. Hello?
Hello. It is easy to be attended by mobile, maybe.
Sorry, it's like we lost the host. Okay, she's back. Madam Bilkis, you please unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you so much. I actually didn't know. Sorry. So the next thing we're going to do is that just from where I started, file, new project, then click on new project. Just go to new. You can, if you want to start blank, you can say click on new project. Or there is a blank or a kind of a template application that you can just click on here, Shiny application. So this just give it my first shiny app. Okay. So okay. I think this is good enough. We don't need all this if you're not, no, we're just starting. Okay, done. So we click on create project. So this is going to, like, you have a working Shiny application now. You have, this is just, it's something beautiful that you can, so I will run this. I will just click on this button because on the right side here of this window, of the code window or your script window. So just click on this and we'll get a pop-up. So let me bring it up. Okay, I hope you guys see my screen. This is the Shiny application that we just got free, no stress, nothing. And it's going to be working. So it's working, and it's beautiful. We can make it more beautiful, okay? But there's still something beautiful that I can showcase. And I can
Miss
change,
Billy, I have a question.
okay?
Yes, I wanted to know why do we have Shiny apps? What are they for? Can we use them at work or what are they?
Okay, thank you for that beautiful question. So Shiny application is just a means, a window for you to be able to communicate maybe your data analysis work, you build a model. For those who don't understand anything about R or Python. So let's say now you've been asked by maybe your boss or something that, okay, yeah, you are in the academics now. You might have a situation where kind of maybe in the department, some students are kind of failing or dropping out of school or the college before graduation. And we're kind of, okay, is it possible? Is this something that we can do or try to solve this problem with data? As a data scientist or a data analyst, sure, we can do something about it. We have some data about the students in the department, in the school. We can lay our hands on that. Maybe now we're trying to do kind of a simple EDA, or we go further to creating some models to help us understand why students are dropping out. Or we want to go to the extent that, okay, we want to create a predictive model to say that, okay, this student is going to drop out or not, or is going to finish or not. So all this, they're going to involve lots of codes and all this stuff. So which I don't think the rector or the vice chancellor of the university would want to see that, or even the HOD, the head of the department. So this is where Shiny application or Quarto comes in. You can create a Shiny application that will only show the exploratory data analysis, that maybe the charts that would show some information about some students that are actually graduating or not graduating. Then the output of your model in a human readable format, kind of a beautiful, you can see, let me bring this up again. Okay, so this application now, can you see any code here?
Yeah, we see it.
See me?
They,
Do
it
you
was
see any
showing
code
code and
here?
comments. Now it's showing
Sorry,
the
can you
app, the
see?
Shiny app.
Okay, awesome. So this is what someone who doesn't understand R would want to see. If this is a plot now, okay, I want to look at the variation. If I change the number of beans with this, and the plot that I'm seeing on the screen, somebody can play around with this. Okay, the same thing with your model. If I want to I successfully create a model, and also I have the EDA that could give some insight into the data that I'm using. I can have all that displayed here, and the output of my of my model. So I don't need to show them all the summary of my model, the accuracy or anything. No, all I just need to create an interface where if somebody just give me the name, I mean, I don't need the name, then maybe the high school GPA of the students, the attendance rates, how many days was the student attending in attendance, how is the attendance like? So how many days was he in school? All this, if all these are information that I need for my model, that's just what I'll create an interface here for. Okay, so I can either download the data, I can ask the user to upload the file containing all this information. And behind the scene, my model will work on the data and just give an output like, okay, at this stage or this time in the year, if this student is having all this information about himself or herself, it's likely the person will graduate, or it's likely the person might not graduate. Okay? So this will help them make insightful decisions. Rather than go through code, they're not going through code, but you are giving them a tool that could help them to make an impact in that student's life. So you as the data scientist or a data analyst can use your dashboard to communicate in a language or in a picture format that makes sense to your HOD. So you don't need to give them all the back, like if I right click this now, inspect the elements, all these codes, nobody will want to, no, I don't need this. Okay, they wouldn't even understand this. So, but they would prefer to see something like this. So have I answered your question like this?
Okay, I think I understand now.
Yeah, okay, good. So there are a lot of uses for Shiny application, especially decision makers. They need it. Data scientists, that's where you bring in your value, not the codes that you want to write. No, we know you can write code, that's why we employed you. But create a tool, something meaningful that you can add value to the organization or the department as a whole, the student's life. They can see something beyond just black and white data. So I think this. So this is our kind of pretty simple Shiny application. We're not seeing any code, but we're seeing texts. We're seeing controls. There's a slider, and we can see our plot. This is an output of a data or the code that is running behind the scene. So this is kind of simple and easy to use without writing or touching the code. Okay. So let's go back to that. So that's just basically it. Let me go back to sharing my screen. Okay. So, and this is, you're creating a new kind of a kind of a Shiny template. So, but you can also create, maybe let me just close this again. You can create a blank application specifically for your modeling or your exploratory data analysis. You want to have all your charts and everything there. You don't want to go through the kind of the Shiny templates. You can also create a new project like that. Maybe you've started working on it. Demo app. So let's just give this name. Okay. So this is it. So what you just need to do is just an R file, or maybe an R script. Just if you have the Shiny, okay, yeah, the snippet is available. So you can create this. This will give you a blank file for as a Shiny application for your app. So I don't need to put the extension there. It's going to give it to me. So immediately I save it as app.r, or it encounters all this information. It has the UI there. This is for you to create all those controls. And also the server, that's the back end. So we have the UI, the front end, and we have the server for the back end. And what is going to connect the two together is this function, Shiny app. So it's going to take as an argument the UI function that you want to give me and the server function that I'm going to use to create the entire Shiny application. So with all these three aspects here ready, the icon here is going to change automatically when you save it. So if I click this now, I'm just going to have a blank Shiny application. So this is my app. Nothing is here. Okay? Nothing is showing there. But I can go in. Sorry. Let me go back in there. So I can go in there, add something so small, text input. Okay? So I can add a text input there. Sorry. The first thing is the input ID. You don't have to put it in there. So I can just say this. Well, okay, my text. Okay. Any question there? Okay, good. Good job. Good job. So I think we should be able to help you while you're trying to download now. We'll hold on there. We'll still have some time. Okay, so just keep going there. So so my ID now, I'm not giving the name to the argument, but the value. So then if I press the tab key, it's going to show me the next argument. So if I don't want to put the names, just like Adley suggested, I don't have to put it there, but I can just put it there for now. So my label, my text. So this is human. Okay, my text, kind of input. Or let me just give it your first name like this. Okay. So then comma, what else? Maybe a value, maybe something, a value first. Maybe, let me just say Bilike. So, okay. So if I save this and I click on this, okay. So let me share my screen. Okay. Sorry, can you see my app now? Sorry, can you see my Shiny application now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. So now I've done something beautiful. I'm asking a user to use this control, and immediately somebody, a layman, says this. Okay, your first name. I don't even have to put my name there. So maybe let me just go back and do something different. So instead of putting my name there, because nobody, I don't think the whole world knows me. So I'll just say, what else? Okay, enter your first name. Okay. So this is the default value that I'm placing in here. Okay. Have I closed it? Okay, let's reload. It's still open. The app is still open there. So reload that. So if I come back to my Shiny app now, you can see enter your first name. This makes sense. I should have put the space there. So, but I can easily delete this and put in my what? My name. So like it's okay, that is that. So it's going to accept information from me as the user. Is accepting information from me. And this is how you build your app one step at a time. So if I go back to RStudio and I want to, okay, let me add another one. I did create with this one. Now I want to add one. All I just need to do is add comma, then come in again. Okay, maybe let's use this. Okay, or something simple. Let's just continue with the text. We'll deal with this slider input later. So okay, so this one is going to be, let's give it a geeky name as the ID. So last name. Okay, so comma, the label. So we don't have to put in, okay. So your last name. Okay. So comma then. So I can now decide, okay, let me use the tab key. The tab key will give you the intelligence to know the next argument that you need to put in there. So this is value. So enter. Okay. So enter your last name. And I can go further. Maybe some people are not used to the last name. I'll just put surname. Okay. Surname. Okay. So this is going to be helpful. So let's save and reload the app. So I'll take you back to my application and we're building something. So this is it. So that now I have something again. So I can just enter my name to Kisel, then the surname. Okay. So this, I'm not doing anything. I'm just putting in information here. And that's just how you can start small and you continue to build your application. I hope this has helped for those who are just starting new. So I'll go back to the chapter 2 that we have for this session. So any question at this point? Any other question in starting up with Shiny application? Okay. So if you don't have any, okay, I saw a message in there. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm installing correctly. Can someone please help me with instruction? What's that, please? Okay, are you on any? Are you on our group? I don't know if you're on a WhatsApp group. Somebody could have been able to help you there. Do you want me
Yes, I
to
am in the
share our
group.
WhatsApp
I'm in
group?
the group. Yeah, I'm in the group.
Okay, you're on the what?
I'm in
Okay,
the group.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let me see if I could get somebody in there.
Okay.
Okay, can you just say hello on the group? Let me be sure that we're on the same page.
Okay,
So,
no
but
problem.
I'll still, okay, good. Or can I just suggest that we do it after the session? I can help you out then.
No problem. Yeah, we can. But I'll say hello just now.
Okay, just say hello, then I'll be able to catch up with you there. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
so, you're welcome. So let's go back to our chapter for today. So going off that the HTML summary. So let's just stay within RStudio now. So I'm using a Quarto document here. So I don't want to go back to the chapter because a lot of reading there. You can also go back to get more information. But I think I've done justice here to summarize and kind of make it kind of concise and straight to the point. So the common structures that we have for this, I've explained that you have to give the input ID, the label, the value, but this might not be the same thing for all the controls, for all the input functions. So you just have to, the short way of getting into this or getting used to it is using the tab key. You put in the right, type the name of the function, then you use the tab key to navigate through all the arguments that you might need for your control to work properly. So then from what Hadley suggested, you don't have to give the name of the argument for the first two. That's the input ID and the label. But if you're starting small, there's no harm in using that. You're not going to get an, you can see what I did now. There's no error, nothing. It's just an advice. Okay? The recommendation. Okay. So this is the slider information. You can see I'm not adding the name of the arguments for the first two values while the other ones are here. So then the first category under the inputs now is the free text. So we've demonstrated how to use that of the text inputs that I use for the first name and the last name. Then the password. Okay. Okay. I'll catch up with you later on the group then. Thank you. So now the password input as well, and then the text area. So I'll be using the the demo app here. So I can have multiple, maybe tests app, Shiny application in my project as much as I want. So there's not going to be any coalition or conflicts there. The only thing is that at the end of the day, you have the main entrance to your dashboard. Okay, so that's all you need. So let me go to the Quarto document now. We can just copy this. If you have the link, okay, let me see if I can share the link again. Okay, so copy link. So I'm sharing the link again. So that's it for those who are just joining. So you can download the repo and you have access to the Quarto documents, then you can follow along. So if I copy this, we'll have the same thing, just like the picture that we have in the textbook. So I'm going to dump that here. So there's nothing on the server side. That's why we're having this. So all you just need to do is just put this there and we save. Okay, so if I save this, we should have that in our app. So this is my app now. Okay, so it's coming from the chapter 202. So this is it. So instead of this pop-up, you can also have it in the browser. Okay, so let me go to the browser. It's a functional app, so you don't have to kind of okay. Sorry, let me see. You can see. So can you confirm if you can see my browser?
Yes,
Okay, good. So
I can
thank
see your
you.
browser. Yeah.
So okay, thank you so much. So you can just put what's your name, the name there. So the difference now is this. So I can put my name here and the password, if I type in the password now, there's going to be a difference. So this is my password. You can see the same old password that we all used to. This is it. So I can also put it, okay, this is Abuja. Okay, I can still click enter because I'm going to the next line, Abuja R user. Click enter. You can continue provided there's no restriction on the number of text that you can answer. Enter, that's just it. So that's the difference between all this. So this is the text area, password control, then the text input. So for this, so as much as you can view it in the pop-up app, you can also view it in your browser. It's just like it's the normal HTML, CSS web document because the Shiny package, the engine behind it translates your R code into a web language. Like that's the HTML, CSS. If you're using JavaScript with it, all well and good. So all these are available here. So if I click on view page source, can you see? You can't see any R code here because that translated it to an HTML document. So our text inputs for what's your name, you can see it's now having a div tag and also the input control for those who are familiar with HTML syntax. So this is it. So, and we also have the input for the password and then the text area. Okay. So that is just that. So, and if you want to troubleshoot, you want to add some kind of flavors to your the Shiny application. Okay, so you can do whatever you want here, provided you know your way around. So that's just it. Those who are familiar with the HTML stuff, you can do so much here. So the colors, I can change color, so maybe color something. So I make it maybe green. So do you see it's changing the the levels now? It's now getting green. Okay, so don't let us go too far. So that is that for this one. So Shiny package helps kind of behind the scene translate your R code into a web language, HTML, CSS, and so on. So that's that. So we'll go, let me close this, then we'll go to the next aspect there. So for the next one, the numeric as inputs. So we have the numeric inputs, like the name says. So it's a constrained text box for numeric values. You can enter 1, 2, and 3, whatever the numbers that you want. Then the slider, this gives you a range. So a length of this, a length 2 numeric vector for the default value of this gives a range slider with 2 ends. So I will explain this. So if all I'm just doing is I'm copying this code. These are examples that are in the text box. So I've shown you how you can create your controls from the demo I did, now from the fantastic question from Don. So we can just copy this again. Let's go to our demo app. I'll delete this. So just know where I'm coming from. I am just changing my UI. We're talking about the UI, basic UI now. I'm only changing my UI. I'm not going to the server side at all. So I will take this out and just dump this in here. So we have the numeric inputs, then the slider, the first one. Then if you are having the length 2, that's we are having a vector here. So this vector is stating 2 information. So let's go in there, then we'll see the difference now. So, okay, I have my app open. I still have it open. So let me just save it, then reload the app. I'm going into the browser. Okay, I think I need to close it for that. So I don't have multiple. So I'm back in my browser. So let me just close this one as well. So for the first one now, the numeric input, you can put in your number yourself, or you have the ability to go through. That's why I'm going to show you now. That's why we have that from the minimum to the maximum. So if I want to say like 200, okay, that value is there. But for this one, okay, so what's going on? Okay, so I don't know the actual value that was there. I can't remember. So I think 100, yeah, 100 is the max. Yeah, I think 0 and 100. So if you're using this arrow, it won't go beyond 100. Okay, so if you want to come down again, reduce the number and so on and so forth. If you want to put on this, that means it's not going to be part of the default values or range of values that are there. So that is just the way you can treat it like a normal text input. So, but for the slider, you will have the minimum and the maximum value. But for this one, you can have a range. So you can capture the values for this slider in a different way compared to what you have here. You can have a single value here, but here we can have a range of values. Okay, so that's the difference here. So let me, okay, these are Quarto. If you need it, this is what you have. So I'll go back to RStudio. So kindly let me know if you have questions or rather too fast or too slow. Let me just know. Just let me hold down. So there's a recommendation by Hadley Wickham as well. So only use sliders for small ranges or cases where the precise value is not so important. Okay? So attempting to precisely select a number on a small slider is an exercise in frustration. So what it means is that if we're having a range that is kind of like 0, 10 or something, kind of might be too small. Okay, so we're still looking at the small range, but if it's getting to be a number on a small slider, might be a frustration there. So sliders are extremely customizable, and there are many ways to tweak their appearance. So you can check out these links to be able to learn more. So we're moving on to dates. So single day, so can have single day inputs like a date, like today's 28. You can do that with the date input. So, and also range of dates, maybe between Monday and Friday. You can have the dates between those two days. So those are possible. So, but for the dates, we have two controls: date input, then the date range input. So this provides a convenient calendar picker, and additional arguments like dates disabled, days of week disabled allow you to restrict the set of valid inputs. So what it is saying is that you can disable some dates. So maybe you want to create an event, or maybe you want to create kind of a Shiny application where you can filter between for some certain dates or range of dates, and you want to disable the other ones. So then you can use this argument to be able to achieve that. So if you want to look at maybe the trend of information between Monday and Friday, then you disable Saturday and Sundays so that your users cannot maybe just want to play around with your app. They might want to go for Saturday and Sunday, but you've created your Shiny application in such a way that I want only Mondays and Fridays, Monday through Friday. So there, no bugs, nothing, and everything is working fine. Or some selected days based on your analysis. Okay, some selected peak days or something. You might there's different case scenarios, but understanding where you're going or what you want to achieve, your goal for creating the Shiny app is very key. So that's that. So we can also copy this and you have what we have here. So let's just quickly try that. Okay. Okay, so just copy and paste it here. So it's easy to follow and good. Okay, so I'll run this again. So okay, so this is the app. So this we didn't disable anything here from the example. So we can start from maybe 23rd of May. We're looking at okay, maybe to the 31st of May. Okay. So with what I've done now, possibly my app is supposed to stop at the current day. So if a user now comes to my application or Shiny application and is trying to kind of filter through my data, and the last data that I have is for today, that's 28th of May. And the person is now clicking on 31. And the person now, oh, I got a bug. Your app is not working and all this stuff. You feel down because kind of that's where you want to look at the cases like that. Okay, no, I don't want people like that to come giving me bad news. I need to disable any dates after the current date needs to be disabled. Okay. So those are scenarios where you want to do this. Okay. So that's that. So, but for this one, it's just only one date. So it's just one. So that's it. Mhm. So I'm going back. So if you have questions, we can take them. So let's go back to Kwato. So the next one, okay, we've done with the dates. So also you can change the language, the date format. Excuse me. The date format, you can change it, the language, and the day on which the week starts. Default source of the default that we'll have it now is default to US standards. So, but you can do all this by trying to play around with all this information. So they are all available here. So all you just need to come back to the control, put a comma, press the tab key. You see start, and okay, minimum, maximum format. Okay, you can change that. Start view, week start, language, different languages here. You can see. Do I have that of my country there? I don't think so. Okay, we'll add that in future. So let's see. So we have the separator, different information there. So all these are things that you can play around with. So, but we're sticking with what we have in the book. So, okay, that's for the dates. So what else? So limited choices now. So controls that are created specifically for limiting the choices of your users. We have two different approaches. We have the select input and the radio buttons. So this example, and we can do something with this. So I can put this vector outside of my UI. Then I can copy what is within my UI now. So take this out, dump this here. So what is going to be? So the select input is going to have the names, the state name. This actually comes with our, let me see, state.name. Okay, that is it. That's the last one. Yeah. So if I run this, you get to see all states in the United States. Okay. So this is what is going to be populated into the select control. Then for our radio button, we're going to have all these animals here. Okay. So you have a choice. You can select only one of this option, only one. So for now, so let's save and run. So this is the result of our app. So now you have all the states in the United States, including Washington, I think, yeah. So everything is there. So you can select any one of them. Colorado, Arizona, and so on and so forth. Then for the radio button, you can only select one, like this, like this, like this. It's just an example. I don't eat animals, okay? So that is this. So go back to the study group. So do we have questions? If you have questions, let me know. So it's just the same thing as what we got. Everything is here in the picture. So radio buttons show all possible options, making them suitable for short lists, okay? So then they display options other than plain text as well, where the arguments choice names. So this determines what is shown to the user. Then choice values. This is what is returned in your server function. So if you copy this, so what we're just saying is that the choice value is what you get to use in your server side. That's the back end. The choice name is what the user will see. Okay. So if I copy again, let's run this here. So the choices here are going to have not just the text, but also the icons. So these are from, I think, Font Awesome functions, Font Awesome's icons. So then we can run this. Okay. So let me make it a little bigger. So if you look at my screen, well, I think you can see the first one is not showing the text, but it's showing an angry face. Then the second one is smiling. Then this one, kind of, what is the meaning of this? I'm not good with emojis. Okay, sad tears. Okay, so these sad tears. Okay, So we might want to play around with that, and that's fun. So you can also use icons that are maybe for suitcase. I think suitcase is something we can play around with. Let me go back there. I'm not sure, but let me just change this angry face. So let me see. Briefcase. Hopefully this will work. Live coding. Yay! It worked. Mhm, mhm. Okay. So instead of the angry face, I have a suitcase or a briefcase there. So that's better. So this kind of smiling and this emotional somehow. So this is the way you can have fun learning. It's not difficult. So and when you make mistake, just get used to it. We all make mistakes and we'll get to learn from our mistakes. You can reach out for help, and that way you will get to perfect everything. Just like, okay, I never made mistake in my life. So that's just it. So go back to the Quarto documents now. So we're looking at the select input now. So you can create drop downs occupying more space, thereby suitable for longer options. So then we can set multiple. So this allows us to select more than just one option. So if you want to select multiple states, you can do that. And all you just need to do is set this to true, this argument to true. So I will just select a replace. Okay. Um, okay. So drop it in. We still have the states of the United States. So run. So this is it. So here we're not seeing the drop down, but we can select this. I can also select Colorado, Florida, anyhow. But we'll be able to interact with this from the back end as the server side. So we'll get to see, okay, how many states were selected and so on and so forth. So this is the way you can use this. Okay, good. We still have some time. So also there's some notes here. So for large set of possible options, use server-side select inputs. This is not covered in the chapter 2, but you can get more information by looking at documentation for this function. Selectize input. Okay, so then moving on, we'll get to checkbox. So checkbox, the single check, this function allows a single checkbox for a single yes or no. So it's either two options, yes or no. So then we have for the group input, so select multiple values. So I'm going to copy this. I think I've deleted. Okay, it's still there. Okay, good. So let me just put this in. I'm going to copy the two so that we don't stay here forever. Okay, I'll copy this, the two examples. Okay. Don't forget the commas. The comma, the last one doesn't need to be having a comma because that is the last. Is there any other one? Okay, file upload. So let's make this snappy. Okay, so this is it. So it's like a turn off, on or off, on or off, shut down, not shut down, shut down, not shut down. Okay, so but for this one, we'll have a multiple options. Okay, you can select all. So, but this is on or off, clean up or not clean up, shut down, not shut down. So it's either it's on, it's selected or not selected. selected or not selected. That's what you're going to have as the option here. So, okay, still. So, and okay, I think there is a question. Okay, can you understand Shiny without having mastered Python, R, or you have to start there first? Okay, that's a good one. From my experience, I don't think you have to be a master of Python or R. For Python, I think for Python, I think you might want to understand Python before you go into Shiny application with Python. But for R, you don't have to be so deep into R before you can start creating Shiny applications. That's for me, no. So all you just need to do is read books like Adley Wickham's Mastering and Shiny application. You can create a basic Shiny application that doesn't have to be bogus. That's just it. You can put in simple charts, simple inputs, controls like the text and all this stuff. You can even decide not to put any input, just use it to give insights from your data. So if you can create basic visualization in R, you can write simple. If you can create visuals, then you should be able to create a Shiny application that someone can use. You can put it on the internet and wow, it's beautiful. And this makes sense. You can see the trends. You can see it's so many information without seeing the code. And you can even have a table there. And if you have a table, you want people to filter by dates, by names, or by some certain values, that is simple enough. At least somebody is interacting with it. I think that's what I would just say. But you don't have to be a master of R. But for Python, I think you might want to be a little bit comfortable with all the nitty-gritty there. But R, if you can create visuals, you can write simple R code, you can do simple data manipulation. I think you can create a Shiny app that could add value to your organization. So do we have any other question? Okay. Okay, I think we can go. We can go on. So so now we're looking at another interesting UI control. Okay, there's another question. Okay, can one deploy this app on Facebook after the development? Deploy, I've never done that, so I'm not sure of that. I'm not sure of that. So, or you can share a link on on Facebook that people can click that link and go to your app. And you can have it online for as long as you want freely. There's a way you can deploy. Okay, so but the study group is out of scope for now. So just let's stick with what we're almost out of time. So, but Facebook, I'm not sure of that. I'm not sure. Thank you for the question. So now maybe you've created a very, very flexible function for your colleagues. Maybe you're doing a survey or something, and you create a beautiful function that is behind your dashboard. You can ask your colleagues, don't worry, I have a beautiful dashboard that you can use to kind of do simple EDA, explorative data analysis on your data, the data we're collecting for our survey. So all you just need to do is that go to this link, just upload your file, then you'll get all those visuals there. You'll see it displayed there, everything. Okay? Everybody will be so interested in going to do that. Okay? So this is the control you can add to your UI. So this, if I 4 days off. Okay. So I just want you to go ahead and do something with Shiny application. It's not difficult, please. It's not difficult. Just try and have fun. Okay, so let's run this and see what we're going to get. Okay, so and you can also restrict the type of file that is being uploaded. That's something you can do as well. So, but this is reading or studying time. So you can click on this and just look for the something. Can I get a CSV here? I don't think so. Okay, there's something here. So I can just upload this. So upload completed. Immediately I complete the upload, you can have a backend kind of function ready to capture this. Okay, and you see on the right side now, this blank uh this blank space can be for visuals. Okay, maybe this is a bar chart. Okay, maybe this kind of a time series or scatter plot, or maybe this can be maybe another one, maybe anything, maybe a map or something. Okay, so these are things that you can actually create. Okay, so the scatter plot can be here, still from the same data set. Okay, so you can have all the scatter plots here. You can, and maybe the bar charts, well ordered. Okay, so all this, I think this will make sense. Oh, now I can see the trend. I can see the relationship between this and this. And this the map. Okay, this the location. Okay, so the locations, everything. So now you have a functional, a kind of shiny application. And I think
Hello, sorry,
this,
ma'am.
okay,
There's a
yeah,
lot of mark
go
on
ahead.
your screen.
I'm the one drawing it.
Okay,
Do
okay.
you hear what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, I do.
Yeah, I'm drawing. Okay, I'm kind of trying to show you that, okay, you can have plots, different plots based on the data that was uploaded here. So does that make sense to you, Akintunde?
Yes, madam. Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
It
so
does.
immediately yeah. So immediately you upload the data, you have a code or some functions ready to create the bar plots, the scatter plots, the map, everything. Immediately that is done, you've already interacted with the Shiny application and you can talk to the back end, that's the server side. And this plot will immediately be generated for you. And your users will see, they'll say, oh, this is beautiful. Yeah. Okay. So just an example here. Sorry for my poor drawing. I think I'm not so good with drawing. Okay, so it's just an example. So I think we're good on this. Let me clean up. Okay. Annotate by. Okay. So we'll get back to our studio. Okay. So I think we still have some time, a little bit more. So interacting with your Shiny application, you can now act or perform some kind of instruction, not just giving us information. You can instruct something or make something happen. So this is where action buttons comes in. Action button, action link. Select user, perform an action naturally paired with these two functions at the back end. That's the server function. So you can kind of relate with this. You click it, something, immediately you click, just write a backend code that would happen immediately that button is clicked. So let me just empty this and drop that here. Oh, no, no. Okay, let me copy. So, okay, I can even leave that there. So let me just drop So, okay, so this is what we have. I can click on this and I can also click on this. Click and click and click. Maybe immediately the person uploads maybe the file. Where is the CSV again? Okay, so I can click this that, okay, generate, create plots, or maybe just give it a name, just tell it what to do. So this is saying click me, and I've clicked it. Drink me, I can't drink that. So let's go back to this. Okay, so kindly mute. Okay, so go back there. Okay, hopeful we can finish this. So this is the buttons. So then, okay. So with this, we can customize it different ways. So we can add some beauty to our kind of visual. That's the button. So all this can be achieved by customizing the appearance using these values. This information for those who might be kind of web dev familiar, there is something with like bootstrapping. Bootstrap, you can use these functions here, or these kind of classes to give your buttons some beauty, or some colors or different styles. Okay, change their appearance. Okay, so let's just see that instead of this black and white boring stuff, we can have something different. Okay. So, okay, I think this wouldn't make sense, but this is an example. So this is one, and this is another one. There's this another one. Okay. So I just want to work with time. Sorry, I don't want to take too much of. We have like 35 minutes more. So okay, now okay, awesome. We're done with some UI elements. No, inputs, like that's controls that you use to kind of collect information from users. Now we have the other UI elements, that those ones are called outputs. So whatever we've done behind the scene, let's say from the back end, as well from the server, we can display it like the charts, the plots. Those are information we are passing to our users on the UI. The UI interface. So that's basically what output is. Just like the input controls the take up ID, okay? Then you can access those IDs using this by using output this, okay? Then the input IDs to the input, you can also use that the same way. Input $ this, okay? So then each output function on the front end is coupled with a render function in the back end, that's the server side. So three main types: text, tables, and plots. So you can send out text, you can also send out plots, tables. So there's an example. So just let me copy this quickly. Okay. So I'll replace everything here. Okay, let me keep that for now. I just need to replace the UI and the server. So that's that. So the example here, the commented section of the code is it's the same thing. But what we're trying to explain here is this. This is the normal way of just putting in a one-line code inside your render text function that is attached to your output controls. So, but when your code is exceeding one line, then you have to use the curly brackets within that function, And that is the example that we have here. Both will work, okay? So, but what you have here, if you have multi-line code, you cannot use this. But you can use this for both multi-line and single line code. So that is just the difference. So I will save this and then run. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, sorry, let me check. I think it's not displaying well. Do this. Let me show them. Okay, let me go back. Okay. Okay, it's showing only hello friend, one hello friend. So let me just check what is going on. So it's about live coding. So this is my own mistake here. Let me see. Hope we have the same thing. Sorry. Oh, okay. Now I see. I see where I got it wrong. So I have for this one, but the other ID is wrong because I tried to change that when I was doing the summary. So this should be code. So then we'll be able to see the two. So code, text code, any other one? I don't think so. So that's text and code here. So let me fix that on the app. So this shouldn't be print, this should be code. Okay. So you can see I've been working with it for some time, but I can still make mistakes. So don't be scared of making mistakes. So now we have one that is for the text output, and this is for the verbatim text output. Okay. So the difference here is this. This is more like what you can see in the kind of the console, not so kind of fancy, but this is for text like, okay, you don't want it there. So, but this can be used for other purposes like summary of your model and all this stuff. You can put that there. So, so that is for that. So that is fixed now. So just be careful. Whatever you have here, know how you navigate it within the server side. So you cannot get what you don't have. So I don't have any control with the print ID, but I had it there. So that was wrong. So that was why I didn't get the output that I was expecting. So that is that. So that has been fixed. So I think the next thing, okay, so this is just the explanation of the difference between the two. So then tables as well, we can have tables, then the different scenarios where you get to use those tables, the different table outputs are all highlighted here. It's two options. The table output goes with the render table. So table output will be at the UI side, while the render table will be at the server side, that's the back end. Okay, the same thing goes with data table output and the render data table. So if you run this, we should be good. Hopefully I didn't tweak anything so much. So okay. So there's it. So let's just see how that looks. So I want us to go through the exercise as well. So so this is the table. So you can see there is a difference between table output and then data table output here. You can search. What would I want to search here? Okay, these are just numbers. So 60 and okay, I think I got two 160s there. So you can search through You can also move up and down, and so, but there's no interactivity beyond this here. So, and you can set the number of entries to return, and so on and so forth. So, okay, so go. Okay, okay, I think we should have some exercises before this output. So I think because of the summary, I didn't bring up the exercises there. Let me bring it up here. So so I hope you can see my house studio. So there is a first question. So let me go into the browser. So this is it. I think the question exercise, the first exercise is 2.28. So that is after the action button. Okay. So I was kind of curious that, okay, I should have gotten to the exercises. So the first exercise is a question here. When space is at a premium, it's useful to label text boxes using a placeholder that appears inside the text area. So how do you call text input to generate the UI below? So I think we did something similar to that in the examples that I gave. So but I'll still take you there. Then the second one is this: carefully read the documentation for the slider inputs to figure out how to create a date slider as shown below. So then this, okay, let's deal with these two first. I have them solved. So I think we should be good. So, okay, for the first question, so this is it. I try to copy it out here. So the text box area now, instead of using value, you can use placeholder instead. So the placeholder is going to stand in as an additional information for whoever is going to use your application. So maybe I can say, if I want to kind of be kind of funny, can I meet you? So let's run this. So then the second question creates this based on this. So what I need to do here is this. The slider input is generally known for numbers. Okay? That okay, we're looking at numbers from 0 to 100 or from 100 to 200 and so on and so forth. But if it's going to be dates, that's different from what you're expecting. You have to kind of pass in a value, either a vector that has already been converted to dates, okay? Or you have to do this manually here. So if you understand how to do data manipulation, this is not going to be a big deal because that's where you start from when you learn in R. You should be able to manipulate your data, change from one type to another. So this is something that it's not going to be difficult. So don't worry. And when you get stuck, there are so many platforms online that you can get help. And you're also part of one. You are part of a community. You get into an issue, share it with others, and you'll be able to get help. So here, what I'm doing is that instead of putting something like 0, we're giving the minimum date. So from the picture we saw or the image we saw in the book, so this is going to be the minimum date. So we want it to be in a format like this: the year dash the month, then dash the date. So the same thing goes for the maximum value. Then we want it to have a kind of a default value that is this. Okay, so that is what we just did here. So okay, this is the third question. So the third question states: create a slider, select values between 0 and 100, where the interval between each selectable value on the slider is 5. So those are key things you have to look at. If you want the gap between your values to be an assigned value, then you have to give it the argument of step. So this step will mean that, okay, you can only select values there are multiples of 5, something like that. So that is what will happen here. So then he also said he gave another task. Then add animation to the input widget. So when the user presses play, the input widget scrolls through the range automatically. So if you want it to be animated, when the user clicks the start and the play button, then you add this animate to it. Then that should work. So then the last one, if you have a moderately long list in a select input, it's useful to create subheadings that break the list into pieces. So read the documentation to figure out this. So I brought an interesting example. So the select input is going to be this. So I want it to be for Niger soups. That's some of the popular soups in Nigeria. So you're going to select your favorite Nigerian soup. So I'm going to select mine. So if you have your hands on this, for those who are in Nigeria, okay, these are the soup that I just love. I love them. So they are from different geographical zones in Nigeria. So we have that of the Southwest. So I can break down the values that are in my select input by coming to this choice arguments. So these choices can take values, can be a vector or a list. So in this case, we're going to use a list, a nested list in this instance, nested named list. So if you want to break it down into different sections now, so I'm breaking it down into Southwest, then South-South, and then Northeast. So these are these popular soups that I have encountered, and they're beautiful. They're delicious. So so if you have the opportunity to come to Nigeria, you will have to try some of this, and you thank me for that. So let's just run this. So okay, I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So for the first task, okay, can I meet you? So it's this question might be kind of ambiguous. I don't know what you mean by can I meet you? So, but the information here, the placeholder here, instead of just the default value, the placeholder here is still there. I don't have to delete it. And it makes more sense because can I meet you is kind of ambiguous. So this would help me better. So Bilikisu is my name. So you can meet me knowing my name. So then when should we deliver it? So we're talking about the dates there now. So we're able to kind of format the date to have all these values. So that's that. So then for the number, we're having the 0. You can see the next thing. See, instead of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's giving me values. I can move only based on multiples of 5, just like I explained. So it's going to be 0, 5, 15, 20, 35, and so on and so till we get to 100. Then also, if the user wants to animate or kind of play through, I can do this, and it's going to still go through 5, 15, 20, and so on and so forth. Then for the last question, we have sections here. You cannot select the section title, but you can select the information under those titles. So you can see Southwest, then the first soup is there, is Egusi, Ewedu, Begiri, Efori roll. Okay, let me use let me call it the way we call it. So that will bring bring home the taste. So banga soup, we have banga soup for the south, the kaikong, afang soup. Then we have miyan kuka for the northeast, miyan taushe, miyan kubewa, and so on and so forth. So these are the popular soups that I love here. So this is the way you can just play around with this. Just have fun. Don't create boring stuff that will kind of frustrate you at the end of the day. That will make it fun for you to make mistake, laugh at yourself, and be able to move on. So this is for the first exercises that we had. So I'll go back to our studio. So Akindude, what's your favorite soup?
Eforiru.
Okay, that's it. Thank you. So for the other Niger, other point, so you just share that with me in the text in the chat box, so we'll be able to know what we're kind of familiar with here in Nigeria. So that's for the first exercise. So I'll go back. Okay, thanks for sharing. Thanks. So now I'll go back to the code. So I've shared that on the table. So you can see if you're imagining what you can do with your dashboard, you can see you can create a table now. You can accept information from your users, and you can also go ahead and create a plot. So I won't take too much of our time. Well, time is well spent. So I want to go through the other exercises as well. So let me bring this up. So like I said, basic understanding of data manipulation and EDA, exploit data analysis, you can create a dashboard that would add value to your organization. So here we're just kind of looking at yeah, thanks for sharing. So we can create a simple plot, okay? Then the output is going to be here from the server side. So I'll just save that, run. Okay, I don't want to bug again. Live coding, yeah. Okay, so this is the plot that we've created now, okay? It's simple, it's something, it can be better, it can be much more beautiful than this. So that's for the plots now. Okay, I think that's this for the demo, for the plots. So plots are special because they are outputs that can also act as inputs. So this kind of advanced stuff, but we're going to deal with it in chapter 7. So we still have a little bit longer time to spend together before we can get to 7. So we won't jump into this now. So you can also download information from the internet or something. That is also beyond this chapter. We're going to get to that in chapter 9. So, and for the book, there is a link in the Quarto document, okay, that contains the book. The guy, Howard Beek, actually did a great job. He's a PhD student, but he went into some of I don't think he did everything on the exercises. Some of them are different from the current book. So, but they can be helpful as well as you go through the book. So that's why I left the link there. So you can click it and explore it and also maybe make it faster to learn. So for the other exercises, I have the solution here. Excuse me. So I think for the first one, I'll still take you back to earlier. Okay, the link. Okay, let me just go behind this then. Let me go behind the Quarto document. So let's get the source for my Quarto document. I think I should be able to get that there. So the last one. Okay, so there's it. So I've shared that. So that is so the guy did a great job. So you can also buy in coffee as well. So okay. I'll go back first to the question. So, okay, so we don't just do the exercises. So the first question is this: which of text output and verbatim text output should each of the following render functions be paired with. So the first one, render print, it usually goes with the verbatim text output. Render text, text output, render print, this. Render text, still text output. So that's for that one. Then recreate the Shiny app in section, and this time setting the height to this and the width to this one. Set the plot alt text so that a visually impaired user can tell that it is a scatter plot of 5 random numbers. Okay, so that I've done that. Then the third one, update the options in the call to render table below so that the data is displayed, but all other controls are suppressed. That means you have to remove the search, ordering, and filtering commands, just like I did. I showed you how to search, you order, and all this stuff. So we're going to disable that. So, but we're going to use this 10 code. I've copied that as well. Then alternatively, read up on React table and convert the above app to use it instead. So going back to our studio, and I'll quickly take you through that. So before we call it a night here in Nigeria. So I'll start. I'll start with the first one. So let me open all these questions. Okay, so for the first one, sorry, so something called, okay. Just install that. Okay. So for this, I think that should be fast. For the first one, so what we're going to do, okay, I've explained this one, is that's simple, and I think it's working like this. So, okay, good, thanks. So let's run that. Then we should have, okay, sorry, which one? Okay, I'm running the first one. Hope I'm not making a mistake here. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm not making, okay, yeah, it's the verbatim. So, so this is the output for the first one. Second one is text. The third one is text as well. Sorry, let me see. I hope, okay, yeah, I changed some stuff there. So I'm not seeing the first text, so I changed some information there. So let's see. VB summary, TXT greetings, VB text, okay, and so render print, render text, render. Okay, this is the summary. Okay, this. Then the second one is this one. Then okay, let's run it again. I think I get what is going on. So this is the information that we're having. Okay, we have the complete one now. So this is the first verbatim, this one, and then the last one. Let me see. Oh, okay. The last one should go into this verbatim as well, I think. So, but you can try it, but this is just what I feel that, okay, that should be the normal one. So for the last one, I think we might want to change it to for this one, because we're looking at the model. So I think this should, that's a mistake on the textbook then. So it should be print. So this should go out. Well, TXT is okay. Then this should have been verbatim. I don't know if that is a typo from there, but you can try it on your side. Then let's see. So that is supposed to be in a verbatim text output, because we're talking about more than one text here. So it's not like the good morning that we had for this one. So that is for the first question. Then the second one. So the plot, the only thing we need to do is first we change the width and the height. Then we add alt text for those who are visually impaired so that they know that, okay, if I can see, I can make sense of what is actually there. So if I run there, so let's share. So this is it. So if you look at the screen here, we can't actually get something from it, but for the visually impaired, there's some apps that you can use to kind of, if you click, they will have an alternative information that is kind of read to them or something that you'll be able to, they will be able to know that, okay, if there's a plot of this, then this and this. So that's for the third, I think the third one. Oh, so, okay, so let me go. This third one. Okay, the third one. Okay, is the table. So he wants us to disable ordering and searching. So that's taken out now. So by adding these arguments. So, and also the page length as well. So this is as simple as the question is. So the same thing, we can try and look at that. So here you can see the text box for search is no more here. And there's no arrow going down or up that was there before. We can't find it here. So you can see there's no arrow here. I think I still have the last example. Sorry, it's back and forth. Okay, I think I should still have the demo app with the tables. Okay, no, it's the plot. Okay, let me go. I'll go back. Okay, for the tables now. Okay, here. This is for the tables. So you see the difference now. So this is it. So for here, we didn't disable anything. No. So you can see the arrows going up and down. So I can use this to arrange descending or ascending orders I want, or just flip through. Then I can also search maybe 160 like I did before. So we have this there. So those ones were disabled just as we were instructed in the exercise. Okay, then the last one, I think this is third. Then the last one. So it's just for us to use this package instead of the normal data table. So, okay, so run. Okay, so here we're using React table. And so this is just the difference now. So that is it. So this is where we're going to stop for chapter 2 for today, based on the exercises and everything. So I am going to upload all the changes I've made and I'll commit them. So you should have, if you already downloaded updates. So this is going to be updates after session. Okay. So I'm going, okay, let me just select everything. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I commit, close this, then push. So you should be able to pull the updated information from the GitHub now. So if you have any question before we round it up, yeah, you'll be uploading where? GitHub. Okay, let me share the link with you. So that's where we have all the everything that we have for the study groups. That's where they're going to be going to. So this is the link. I've shared it again. So if you have questions, I think I'm pushing now. Okay, yeah, everything is updated there. So if you have questions now, thank you, everybody. You can give me your questions now.
Hi,
Thank you,
I was
Simi.
saying Please don't forget to assist me on WhatsApp with the
I'm going there
installation.
right.
Okay.
Yes, I'm going back there right now. Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
I've seen your message. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going back there. So I'll help. So let's just round up here. So thank you so much for keeping my company down. Are Akintunde and okay, let me look for you people. Okay, Oladapo, Joshua, Muhammad, MT Muhammad, I'm grateful. Thank you so much for joining me and keeping me company. It was really an
Thank you,
interesting
Aja.
session and
Thank you,
interactive.
Aja.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Okay,
our
thank you
mentor.
so much. Thank you.
I was thinking it was physical, so I can visit your office, but it was online. I visited Abuja this week.
Okay, yeah.
Uh,
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
that is good.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much.
Thank
No,
you.
no
Ma.
problem. I think we can catch up maybe if you are still around over the weekend.
I'll be going tomorrow. No problem. Maybe till other time.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you, ma.
Thank you so much.
And,
Okay. So thank you, everybody. Thank you. So till next session, we look forward to catching up with you. So please try your hands on as many things that you can. If you make mistake, reach out. We'll be available to help you. Thank you very much. So it's going to
Bye.
be a goodbye from bye-bye.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.